Today we're going to talk about the Viwoods AI Paper e-ink tablet. Now there is tons of different reviews about the specs of this device and all that out there, but today I'm going to actually show you how to make this e-tablet work for you, show you some productivity, how you can get use from this device, and some really cool next gen features that are going to get you excited to go ahead and dive into using this on a daily basis. One of the things that really kind of caught me off guard is I've reviewed a number of these e-ink devices, everything from the Remarkable to the books, Supernote, and the list goes on as more and more different tablets have come to market. And if you're interested in e-ink, productivity, trying to improve your goals and daily action planning, go ahead and subscribe to our channel because that's everything we cover. And my goal is to give you not only tech reviews, but tech with purpose. We're going to talk about how you can take this tech, integrate it into your daily workflow, and see real results. If it be from taking notes in a meeting to putting together plans and agendas and actually a strategy that you can execute to achieve the results that you want. And as I looked at this device, one of the first things that came out of it was the idea of AI. I mean, we're in a phase and era right now that everything's about AI and how do we get AI into the picture? How can we make AI a part of our workflow? So I've been kind of like numb from this and really not expecting a lot. But then I opened up this device and wow, was I impressed. To be able to take my handwritten notes, summarize them in an email, send them off to my staff in a matter of a click of a button. And I'm gonna show you how you can do that with this device. What I love about handwriting is the fact is when you use your hand to annotate your thoughts and ideas and capture the brilliance that you have within you, you are more physically, emotionally, and mentally invested in those notes. Yeah, you can sit behind a keyboard and you can tap all day, but it's almost a race to keep up the keys that you are typing and your thoughts having to accelerate through the process. When handwriting, we slow down. We get into the thick of it. We think through the strategy. We start to think of the unforeseen consequences. So as we are capturing those thoughts and ideas, you are actually more capable of that success through achieving all those different thoughts that you have. So if you like any of this, stay tuned as we're going to dive into it. Everybody loves the day that you unbox your new tech, and we were thrilled to unbox this device. The packaging was very sleek, it was very welcoming, and as I opened up the device, I saw all the components that were inside the packaging. Everything from the tablet itself, the portfolio that came with it, the newly designed pen with an eraser tip, as well as a button, which we'll talk about a little later. Also, it has 5 styluses that you can put in here, nibs that you can adjust. And there's 2 different nibs. One's a smooth writer and one's a hard writer. But one thing I thought was really kind of intelligent is so often when we get these nibs and we go out in the real world and we break a nib or we need a new one, where are they at? They're back in the box. They're in a shelf. They're somewhere that's not convenient at the time. Well, they've done a really good job and they actually placed those nibs right inside of here that you can access 2 additional nibs at any time by just simply popping that out, and you can pull out your additional nibs and they go in very easily. So I thought that was genius to be able to carry them with you. The case itself, nothing overly impressive, just a folio. Now this device itself is super thin. I'm going to show you the thickness and pull it up against my iPhone. And if you've ever had an iPhone in your hand and thought, wow, that's pretty slick, this device is very thin. Now, I will put a little asterisk on that with thin devices, there is some abilities. It's not pretty solid, but if I was to hit this pretty hard, bend it, it probably would crack and break. There is no front lit display on this. So that is one probably downfall of this device over some of the newer devices that have come out, like the Remarkable Paper Pro. Those devices all have some type of front light, which allows us to read in dark spaces. But even as a non-front lit display, I mean, overall, the contrast is great. The quality is amazing. The resolution is absolutely beautiful. And when you close this thing up, there's a little pen holder for you, and you can take this wherever you go. Now, if you are looking for an e-tablet, I'm going to show you all the reasons why this might be the one for you. And we are going to talk about who this is best suited for before we get into the end of the video. But now let's actually talk about some of the things when you get the cover open and get inside. As we get into the device itself, I'm not going to jump into all the different tech specs. I'm going to give you some things that are notable to note. For example, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, and it has a 4100 milliwatt hour battery. I have found that I can use this device all day comfortably and go ahead and take notes, and I'm only seeing about a 10 to 15% drain on the battery, using it about 2 hours at a time for notating. It does have Bluetooth. You can connect a speaker or any other Bluetooth applications, a keyboard. It does not have speakers on the device, but it does have 2 microphones that are positioned right here. And you're going to see how you can actually record audio within your notes, which makes AI even an improved experience when you can have audio recordings and handwritten notes mixed together in the same meeting so that you're able to capture all the thoughts that you have for yourself. Display, different settings there. Pen gestures are available. One thing I want to jump down to is the security functions of this. There is the ability to enable a passcode as well as a fingerprint, and there's a fingerprint reader built into the power button right at the top of the device. And it also has the ability to connect to the Play Store. So let's go ahead and let's jump into the home screen here. In the home screen, you're going to see on top, there's a place where you have your recent e-paper notes. You're going to see a daily calendar, a place for tasks, to-dos, notes that would show up in that calendar. And then you also have a learning section and an app section. Now, when we look at a lot of these e-ink devices, the ones that are Android-based have that ability to access the Google Play Store. So like the Onyx Books, in this particular device, you can go ahead and access the Google Play Store, which allows you to go ahead and download tons of different apps into the device itself. Now, the device itself is e-ink, so it does have that black and white feel, and with it being an e-ink, there is a refresh rate. So browsing the internet, watching movies, not something you're going to do, but if you want to get a note or browse a website and get some specs or some thoughts, you can easily do that. You can also pull in like the Kindle app, OneNote, Word, and a handful of different things. One thing that everybody always asks me is, how do you transfer content to this device? Well, you can do it a number of different ways, and the way that I find that I like better is through the transfer app. This allows you to pull this app up, and you can go ahead and you can connect to it via Wi-Fi over your connected browser, and you can actually physically upload PDFs and other files directly into the device, and they'll sync over. So to me, that's probably the easiest way to do. The dashboard on the internet is really favorable. It has a lot of different ways that you can see the different file types and how everything is organized for you. And then you can easily see that you have all those different recent records are located right here. So let's jump into the actual art of note-taking. I've already installed the Key2Success Planner, which is a personal, professional, business, and executive planning system. You can learn about this system later in the video or in the link in the description, but you can see right here, I have my daily page. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to the next page here, which is a note page. I'm going to show you how you use the in-app note-taking. Across the top here, we have our pen tool. There's a couple different pen features, like the calligraphy pen, fountain pen, ballpoint pen, fine liner, pencil, highlighter, and then a thinkers, which I'm not sure what that one is. Well, maybe let's look at that. Below you have different thicknesses from ultra fine to fine to medium to bold and to big. And then you have a color palette of white, gray, medium gray, dark gray, and black. So let's just look at black for a second. Let's pick this one here and let's just draw a line. Ooh, kind of like that. Now I'm going to see what the medium gray would look like and a medium thickness. You can see that right there. Okay, I can see what that's doing. And I'm going to choose fine and do light gray. That way we can just get an idea. And that is really hard to see, but it is there. Now let's jump over to what I find is one of my favorite ones, and that's just, I'm a big ballpoint pen kind of guy. I found that black and this medium are a good fit. So I can go ahead and make a little smiley face. I can also write. Now, one thing that really impressed with me was the actual lag and speed of writing. When I go ahead and I draw out that circle, it's almost instantaneously showing up on the screen. And with some e-ink devices, you don't have that. There's a little bit of lag. There's also ghosting. Now, I can go through and I can have a second pen tool, which in this case, I've defaulted to a highlighter. I have it set to yellow. So I want to go ahead and I can color that in. Now, it is only black and white, so it's not going to show yellow on the screen, but it gives you that sense that there is a highlight there. And if I go over top the word write, you can clearly see that it is a lighter shade than write, and it definitely helps stand that out. Now, when it comes to erasing, I can click on the erase tool. I can do like a circle eraser, which that means I can draw around an area, and the lasso tool will erase everything inside of that. I can go ahead and choose to hit erase, and now it'll erase the area as I do it. Or if everything on this page is no good to me, I can hit erase all and gives me a clean notepad to work with. Now, this lasso tool is also really important, and I'll show you that when we jump back to the planner page. As I jump back to the planner page, you can see here I've been using my different plans for the day. I've highlighted and made some color blocks. I could actually make those different, but I'm going to talk about that lasso tool. Let's just say I went ahead and I'm going to add take out trash. If I did not complete this assignment or the Amazon returns assignment, I could go ahead and hit the lasso tool, circle those two, and choose the word cut. Now I'm going to go ahead and tap up here. We are on Wednesday the 13th. I can tap on the 14th. Here's the 14th. Now I can tap on the screen, hit paste, and bring that right in here. Now there's some other cool things that come into this lasso tool. So I'm going to lasso that tool again. And this time I'm going to hit the little calendar plus button. And I'm actually going to create a to-do. Here it's going to pull up my calendar, and it's going to add Amazon returns and take out trash as a to-do right inside my to-do on the application. I'm going to hit confirm. Now where this gets really exciting is I'm going to jump back into my daily planner. I'm going to go back to the 13th. I'm going to go ahead and put the lasso tool around coffee with Nate. And I'm going to hit the add button again. And this time I'm going to create an event. It's thinking, as AI does. And here it says coffee with Nate. It has a time period. Now it has a date here, and I can go ahead now and I can manually put in this date. And what this allows us to do, which is not something we've seen in a lot of traditional e-ink devices, is now I have a way of using my paper planning ability to start scheduling my calendar. Now, if you guys haven't watched this video right here, it talks about the importance of planning versus scheduling. So many of you think about calendars and you think about scheduling. You think about the notifications that come on inside our phone, if it be the iCal, if it be Google Calendar, and we're kind of tethered to that notification. But what's happening in that particular scheduling system, that electronic scheduling, all we're doing is blocking off time. We're not having a real conversation with ourselves about what questions we have, what answers do we need to get, what is the priority of the events that we've lined in our schedule. And with paper planning, that is totally different. We go into a mode of thinking about, here is everything we have to do, and here's the priority of what we have to achieve. And then dissecting and saying, out of all these things we have to do, what's most important? What's going to have the biggest impact? And then we schedule out our week, putting first things first. Franklin Covey said in the 7 Habits of Successful People is put first things first. Take on the tasks, the projects, the conversations, the relationships building that you need to do, and make that a priority and do that first in your planning system. A calendar can't do that for you, but a planner can. But the fact that now we have the ability to take those plans and create an event in our calendar, that's pretty exciting. And that was one thing that really kind of got me kind of looking at this device in a whole different light. So going back to that planning page, I want to note for a second, in our planner, we have what we call the daily key 3. These are the 3 things that are most important to you, the most important things to your success. It might be task driven. It might be a relationship that you need to build on. It might be a thought you need to kind of kindle and think through. But these are the things at the end of the day, when you mark them off, you have this sense of accomplishment that, hey, today I created a result, an impact on the rest of my life. And if you ever read the book by James Clear, Atomic Habits, he talks about how that 1% growth each and every week will make a huge impact over a great period of time. And that's what we're doing. We're just choosing 3 things each and every day that is going to make that 1% impact. So that at the end of the week, the end of the month, that compounding interest that you are creating with these Davy Key 3 is going to add up to a big bank account on your success. But that is this. But here is what's going to really just like your mind. Let me show you. I wrote this all out. I don't want to create duplicate work. I have other people in my world that need to know what I'm doing. I can literally click on this little AI tool, hit generate an email. And this will go ahead. I'm going to choose the current page and hit confirm. This is going to open up an AI tool that's powered by ChatGPT. It's going to put a screenshot of my entire note page, which also includes the template. So it's able to read what's in the template. But here, it's telling me I want to share my plans and availability for Wednesday, January 13th, as I'm focused on moving forward my goals. Here's my top 3 priorities. Here is the different events that I have planned for the day. And then it even says in here, if you need to connect regarding the budget, the Bradford proposal, or any client-related matters, my best windows are during the office block of 11 a.m. or the flex time in the early afternoon. How many times have you sat down to focus on something and the phone rings, the watch buzzes, or someone knocks at your door and asks you a question? Yeah, we want to be there as leaders, as entrepreneurs, as good stewards, as co-workers. We want to be there to help support others through their day. But something as simple as this email gives your team, your co-workers, the ability to say, hey, I'm going to reach out to Brandon on this Bradford proposal early in the morning, probably at 11 a.m. because he's going to be working on it that day. Or if I have a question about something else, I'm going to let him do his thing and check in with him during his flex time. Think if all of those notifications, all those bells and whistles all buzzed in the same block of time each day and allowed you to have the rest of your time to really focus on what you were looking to achieve. That would be amazing. And that is something this device can help you do. Now, one thing further, maybe I don't need to send an email. Maybe I need to have a conversation with myself. I can analyze this entire content, pull everything into that same AI tool, and I can start having a conversation about what is this budget? What does that proposal look like? How am I going to start calling on certain customers? What is the things that are going to make me be able to have weight in my success by understanding what my proposition is that I'm calling all these clients with? But right here, you can see it analyzed this entire page. It showed in all these different things I'm trying to do, but I can come in here now and I can say, what questions should I ask my team about the marketing budget? Now there is an on-screen keyboard. You could also connect a Bluetooth keyboard, and that might make this experience a little faster. But a lot of times when we're doing this note taking, we are in a mobile space. We're in a place that we're trying to just get the job done. So now look at this. I'm having AI start to create different questions, different things about what the budget consists of, how we're going to measure it, what channels we're going to discover as we go through the benchmarks of laying out this campaign. I can take these notes and I can actually copy them and pull them into our meeting note page or any other e-tile that comes with our planner. So if you haven't learned about our planner yet, go ahead, check out our website. We have tons of different templates, from budget templates to SWOT pages, to pages that help you through your life balance wheel, to your sermon notes, things that you're going to use each and every day in your life that you can import in the system and are a few dollars each. But one of them is this meeting tile template. You can see the meeting tile template is here, and I went ahead and I have my agenda, I have who's participating in the meeting, kind of a little outline sketch of what we're going to do. But one thing I didn't show you is there's a microphone that's built in right inside the device. And I can go ahead and click on the microphone button, and it'll start recording out everything I'm saying. So I could be recording and writing out a note simultaneously. This is powerful, and here's why. Think of a sales meeting. Think of a meeting that you have your laptop up, right? And you're sitting here as someone's talking, you're typing, you're talking, you're typing, you're talking, you're typing. And what's happening? Well, first off, the person on the other side of that tablet probably thinks you're playing solitaire, maybe Candy Crush if that's what you're into. But you are trying to get all the notes in pieces, but you're not actually thinking through the thoughts because you have in that keyboard keystroke race with what they're saying and what you're trying to annotate on that page. With this device, you could start recording the notes, have a conversation, be invested in what they're saying, have eye contact as you handwrite those notes. This goes back to this elementary tactics of being professional and being invested in somebody else. If I have this tablet and I'm writing down as they're talking, the person on the other end thinks, wow, they're really engaged in what I'm saying. They care about what I'm speaking about. They're hearing me and the output. They already have this assumption that whatever you come back with is going to be better than the guy that was there 5 minutes early or with the keyboard out in front of them. All along, I'm recording that note. Now, I can keep this note attached to this page. I can also go ahead and translate or convert all of that audio transcript into text and have it right here. I can use an AI assistant to start having a conversation with it. I can add more notes. I can create a summary. I can copy that. I can go ahead and put in other things. I can take multiple notes, multiple recordings, and bring them all together into AI and really start to use this device in a productivity tool that I haven't seen in a lot of other e-ink devices to market. But I dropped some of those transcripts that we recorded in the actual medium where we were talking about this project. These are my notes. I'm not going to go ahead and share these with my team the way they are because they're going to be like, huh? But if I go ahead, use AI and say, analyze content and hit current page and hit confirm, it's pulling that screenshot of that page. If you're using our templates, it's going to know this is what the agenda was. These are the people that were in it. These were the tasks and the projects because that's all inside the frame because it's reading the whole template as holistic notes. And now I can see if I go through this AI tool here, I have all the attendees, what the agenda was about, the different items that were brought up as part of the different phases. The actual main note summary is in here, and the tasks and projects that we're going to take ownership of are all in here, as well as an overall analysis. I can say, generate an email to my team. Now it's going to take that summary of that meeting, use AI to generate a summary. I can go ahead and copy that and push it right into an email. How awesome is that? And there you go. It says, Dear team, thanks for taking the time in today's meeting. Below is a recap. Here's what the overview of the project was, Westfield Dam, phase A, B, C. Here's the different key objectives that we had from today, and here's the action items. That all came from a combination of my handwritten notes using the Key2Success meetings template page and being able to record the interactions that were taking place in the room in real time. I can walk out of that room within a matter of a few minutes, have a summary off to my team so they can start working on the project, just as if they were there in a room with me. That's powerful. And that's actually one of the things that really makes me excited about this device. So besides using the internal system, there's so many of us that like to use different devices that synchronize across other platforms. It be Windows, Android, or Apple. And with the Google Play Store, under apps, we have OneNote being one of those. Now, there's other PDF annotation apps that also do syncing. And if you're interested in any of those, you can download those from the Google Play Store as well. But with OneNote, I now have that same ability to take those same notes, utilize the planner in the same way. I can use the highlighter features, the writing features. I can use the lasso tool. I can insert different media and pictures, even though they're black and white, and know that when this device syncs to my account, everything will appear on color in my desktop. And in the same form or fashion, I could screenshot these same pages and use AI to create that same interaction, those same outputs. But not only do we have the ability to use the device in its native space, but if there is a different application that you're using for note taking, it doesn't create a barrier. And that's one thing that really kind of sometimes pulls me back from using devices like the Remarkable, is like there's a barrier there. I want to use an e-ink device. I want to have a screen that has ultra awesome battery and be able to take my notes on a paper-like feeling tablet, but I want them to be available wherever I go next. And sometimes the Remarkable, I feel like there's another step. I got to download it from an app. I got to take a screenshot. I got to pull it in here. I got to copy the text and put it on a new page and then copy over the text from there. Yes, not big inconveniences, no doubt, but it's an extra step. Here, there's opportunities with the Android and Google Play for you to make a bridge between all those other connections. So when you look at this device and think of all the different ways that you can really make it a productivity tool, I also want you to take a moment and learn a little bit about our planning system. The Key2Success Planner is built for personal, professional, business, and executive users. For less than $30 a year, you can get a planner that's going to help you with your daily planning, your annual vision, and all the goals that you have set for yourself. Maybe you're in a business and you're trying to grow over the next 3 years and you're setting big targets and you have a long process that you're working through. Challenges are at your doorstep. The business and executive planner are going to help you through that. Our business operating system is going to guide you through the process to overcome those challenges, those boulders, and create an action plan for success that you can integrate not only into your own daily planning, but all the people around you. And if you're coaching and leading your team through something, that executive planner is going to give you the ability to see your team, your employees, the people that are your support staff, and help level them up by understanding what their career vision is and also helping support them in what their challenges are so that they can achieve the results that you need from them so you all reach success. Now, with our planning system, we have tons of free training that takes you through it. I also provide individual and team coaching. So maybe if you're looking at this device, looking at the planning, looking at your organization as a whole, and you say, hey, I'm in a rut. I need someone there to get me through it, to help me organize myself. I'm here to help you achieve that. If it be in 1, 2, 3 sessions or an ongoing relationship, I can work through these challenges by helping you exercise your strengths each and every day by accomplishing those daily key 3. I told you that there was a couple things that I wanted to share with you that I think are absolutely amazing that I haven't talked about that really take this device to the wow factor. And one of those is this. I showed you before how you can create the events, but what I didn't show you before is how you can link the actual page notes to a respective date. I can go here and click on the 3 dots and hit associate with daily. It's going to pull up and say associate with the day. And I'm going to put January 13th, 2027 because that's the day of the planner. And I'm going to hit confirm. If I jump back to that daily page, I'm going to pull in 2026 or 2027 because that's the year that we're in. And I'm going to pull in January 13th and click on this date. You're going to see that there is a little note attached. I can tap on that note and it's going to show me there is pages that are associated with this date. I can tap on that day and it'll take me right to my scheduling page. So from the scheduling page, we were able to create an event. But now from the calendar and scheduler, we're able to dive into our planning. That is pretty impressive. If there was ever a conversation I was having about someone that was struggling with a primary and a secondary planner, this planner scheduler connection is quite brilliant. The other thing I wanted to show you as a quick tip, if I slide down this right corner, I have the ability to take a screenshot, annotate, or record anything at any given time. No matter what app, wherever I am in, I can go ahead and create some annotations just like that. And what that's really powerful for is like if you're in the middle of me reading a book and like, wow, that's a really good idea. I'm in my Kindle app and I want to take a note. Boom, take a note on whatever it was you just learned. So, who is this for? That is the loaded question. Is it for you? You have to ask yourself, out of everything I went through, was there 1, 2, or 3 ways that you can benefit each and every day? Was there something that made the investment in this product something that you can see yourself holistically getting a return on in the next 12 to 18 months? If you're starting to answer yes, then start to talk about what your role and objectives are. What do you do each day? What are you trying to achieve? What does success look and feel like? Does integrating the planner into your daily lifestyle help you not only have the vision of what you want to achieve, but actually help you achieve it through the daily key 3? And it doesn't matter if you're in a personal work at home state, or if you're someone that is growing in your profession as a salesperson, an entrepreneur, a pastor, or you're an executive of a Fortune 250 company. Are you able to get more done because of this device and a planner being a part of it? And if the answer is yes, then I encourage you to take the next step forward. Along the way, if I brought one thing to your knowledge base that helped you feel sharper, improved, and you want to learn more about what it is that you can achieve, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. If you recognize there's other people in your room, your world, your neighbor is maybe struggling with their productivity in utilizing tech and AI, go ahead and share this video with them. And by all means, if you've got any questions, go ahead and hit the comments. I'm Brandon Bohndorfer, and Lord willing, Christ will allow us to walk together in the next one.